In today's adventure, we see the Criminal Syndicate trying to commit a daring robbery against an experimental research and development shield laboratory being guarded by the Web Warriors. Kingpin and his team are trying to grab two different kinds of experiments that are going on. The first one, the latest batch of super soldier formula, located here. The other, power enhancement modules that are located here. So I invite you to sit back and enjoy the show as the Criminal Syndicate take on the Web Warriors.
This week I'm playing Web Warriors, led by Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ghost Spider, Daredevil, Spider-Man Peter Parker, and Vision. This is the first time I've played Web Warriors, and also all of these characters are new to me, so I'm really hoping I don't make too many mistakes. I'm going to try my best. For my team tactic cards, I'm playing Sucker, Trip Up, Seeing Red, Web Barrier, and All Webbed Up. Web Barrier and All Webbed Up are Web Warrior team tactic cards, and then Seeing Red and Trip Up and Sucker are unaffiliated, and all of those are pretty easy to use, so we will see how it goes.
This week I'm bringing the Criminal Syndicate. They are being led by Kingpin, and he is bringing Bullseye, Crossbones, Killmonger, and Ultron along with them. Now, obviously, Ultron is not a member of the Criminal Syndicate per the affiliation list, but I've been wanting to try to play him for a while. We watched Age of Ultron recently, and he's a character that neither one of us have seen in one of our own personal games yet, so I thought it'd be fun to play him. The Criminal Syndicate, I've had a chance to play one time, and they were very interesting to play. I wanted to give them another shot, and so I've actually played Kingpin and Bullseye before. Crossbones I have not, so he's kind of a unknown to me. And then Killmonger, if anyone's ever seen these videos, they know I love Killmonger. For my team tactics cards, I have All According to Plan, Cruelty, Usurp the Throne, The Age of Ultron, and Extreme Conditioning. Extreme Conditioning is there because I've got a lot of short movers. Usurp the Throne is one of my go-to cards. It's one of my favorite cards, and it's a Killmonger card, and it can definitely win you the game. All According to Plan is another one of those that I actually used once in a practice game, and it pretty much helped me clinch the game, so I like it. Cruelty is just another way of getting another attack, and the Age of Ultron, it's always fun to bring somebody back from the dead when your opponent's not expecting it. So those are my cards, and I hope they go well. All right, the Criminal Syndicate won the roll-off here, so I'm going first. I had to choose whether I wanted Ultron or Bullseye to get the first hammer, so I went with Ultron. I don't know why, I just felt that he was more survivable, and the chances of him holding on to it were greater than Bullseye. So I got it. And I may have been able to maneuver better, so I could have maybe actually hit that formula, but I didn't, so I didn't, unfortunately.
Okay, so I am moving Daredevil, and I should have gone up the other side and got that hammer instead of going down the middle. Screwed myself over on that one. And then I'm just moving Daredevil up a little bit. And this is a good time to point out that every single character I'm playing is new to me. Never played them before.
This is your first game with them. Yep. So since that hammer was on the side, I thought, why not go for Bullseye with it? So I wasn't terribly impressed with Bullseye, but I want to give him a chance. So this way his knife throws will be a little bit more powerful. So I have it now.
Okay, so moving Ghost Spider. And I am in range to attack Bullseye, so I use Impact Webbing. I get a power after this, and if I roll a wild, I can push him short, which I do. So 4, and did you block any?
Nope.
Nope. Wow.
No, that's going to be the theme of this game for a little bit. My defense was horrible. But you did push me behind the building, which worked out for me. I was actually happy you put me there. Would have been embarrassing to have Spider-Man take him out round 1. Alright, so now I have Crossbones. He was another one I wasn't sure of. I wanted to play him, though. We were just watching Civil War the other day. And he's very cool in that movie, so I wanted to play him this time.
Okay, so this is Spider-Man, Miles Morales. And yes, I kept getting Peter Parker and Miles Morales mixed up during the game.
That was a little confusing, yeah. So Killmonger, one of my favorite go-to guys. He's now on the hunt. He's got a hammer. He's feeling all hunty and things, so... Yeah, he was one of my major threats for that flank of the battlefield.
Okay, and Vision, who ever since we started watching WandaVision, I've wanted to play. Andy said he's looking for Wanda right now. So heartbreaking. So I'm just moving him up and hopefully a better position for the next round.
Yeah, a lot of people were playing him when we first started playing this game, so I didn't really have the motivation to paint him because I didn't want to be playing the same thing as everyone else right off the bat. So, anyways, we have Kingpin. He's a short mover, but he's definitely a good one. He can take a big beating in this game.
And finally, Peter Parker. Thought about just leaving him there, but I'm thinking I want to get him in a good position for the next round, and I know if he gets in trouble in the next round, Gwen can rescue him.
Yeah, so that's the end of the round. Pretty quick. That leaves Criminal Syndicate 4, Web Warriors 3. And we've got round 2 here. Again, I have priority. Had a couple different options on how I could have started this. So I went ahead and opted to go with Ultron first. I made a major mistake. I really underestimated how powerful the spider people's abilities are to defend, especially on an objective. I will never make that mistake again. Yeah, it's hard as crap to try to hurt them on objectives with spider sense. And the leadership ability kicked in. So I actually hit for 5 here. And then because of Miles Morales, he gets to reroll 2 do spider senses and rolled really well. So 2 damage there. So I am woo out of there.
Okay, so that's Peter Parker. And he is going to use impact webbing on Crossbones. So 1. And you've blocked it. I think I need some kind of special award for getting that many skulls.
So I think I was under the impression I took a damage there. I should not have moved up that way. I was using aggressive to move up closer. Now, it doesn't really matter because she's going to attack me again anyways, and you would have been in range.
Yep, so Taser Web, which is the energy attack. And if I get a, let's see, one or more damage, he gets stunned. Still not completely familiar with these characters, so be gentle on me.
Yeah, usually we get a practice game in, but we just didn't have time to do practice for this. So I have Bullseye coming up next, and I wanted him to do something before she knocked him out. Because let's face it, he was going to get knocked out. So I'm going to do a hit and run attack on Ghost Spider. The hit and run attack has been made famous in this house, or infamous in this house, by Nikki and Cyclops. So I've learned a lot about how to use it more effectively from her.
Well, thank you, Andy.
Yeah. I bet you didn't know that, but yes, you kept on doing it to me all the time. I do have a hammer on him, so I'm rolling 5 dice instead of 4. She is now going to be bleeding because of that attack. And I actually do manage to do 1 damage to her. And then I'm out of there. I feel that was very thematic for him.
All right, so Gwen, impact webbing. If I roll a wild, she can push, and I do.
Yeah, I am not rolling defense worth a dang tonight. Now, this time I do use aggressive the correct way. I was kind of just coming to Nikki that you can push me, but I'm going to move right back there.
So we just played it out. I don't know if I was pushing you.
Yep, you pushed.
Okay. Yep, there we go. And you just moved right back.
Correct use of aggressive there.
And now I'm using my second action to get rid of bleed.
Yeah, you have a lot of low stamina people, so it was important to get every health you could in this game.
Yes.
So I'm using Illicit Network, the leadership ability. I paid the power, and I'm moving the hammer from Bullseye to Kingpin. I was actually rather shocked how much range you have on that one. So now Kingpin has a hammer, and I'm moving up to the formula, and we're gonna shoot the Spider-Man there, Mr. Peter Parker. Keen laser.
You just thought you were Andy.
Yeah. She's like, no, you're not. What?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite abilities of Gwen, is she gets to rescue people, and I love it. Which Andy and I were like, well, we don't know how good that is in the end, but I thought it was pretty cool.
No, that worked. Worked very well.
Okay, so this is Miles Morales, and he is using Web Swing, pay 2 power, and that'll put me within 3 of where I want to go. And it also allows me to add 2 dice to Webline Kick, so I'll have 6 dice. And if I roll a wild, I get to throw them.
Yeah, I thought she was going to attack Ultron, which is why the camera was focused on him. She attacked Killmonger.
Because Killmonger scares me, really.
He should. He definitely should.
I have gotten so hammered by him before, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that 5? And then you blocked 1.
Yeah.
And I did roll a wild. So we're going to throw him. Throwing him against that, whatever that is.
It's a building.
I don't know what all this space stuff is.
It's a laboratory. It's a science laboratory building.
Okay. And now he's just moving back by that serum.
This room is full of nerds, according to comics. All right, so I thought I was going to be very clever here, and I'm charging Daredevil with Killmonger. So I'm doing vibranium weapons on him first. I basically have 2 attacks. She gave me a lot of power, so I have a charge attack and then a regular attack after that, which will add more power. So the first attack, vibranium weapons. I hit you really hard. But stupid martial arts, and I pierced you. So you do have martial arts, that's why I told her not to move that one. So she's re-rolling because of Web Warriors, I'm sorry. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She blocked 3 of that. And then I removed 1 from Pierce, so she blocked 2, did 4 damage to her. I forgot he had retaliation. Or the Man Without Fear, I think it's what it's called. Yeah, and she hammered me in the face with that. And ends up dazing me with that attack. So there goes my epic run with Killmonger. Oh, I was ticked.
Maybe I've learned a few things about Killmonger over the many times we've played. Okay, so Vision is going to go pick up that hammer. Backwards.
Show off.
And for the second action, he is just going to get 2 power.
Yeah, I feel Killmonger was like that one scene in Indiana Jones where the one guy did all the fancy moves with his sword and Indiana Jones just takes his gun out and shoots him. I feel like that's what basically just happened to Killmonger right there.
That is so awesome. Yes, I'm down for that. That's what happened.
All right, so now it's Crossbones. He got pretty hurt last time. His attacks aren't super awesome, but they're very cheap. So his big attack, which isn't that great, again, it only costs 2 power. So it's called Overpower. So I'm going to do an Overpower. But since she hurt me pretty badly, at least I thought she did, I had enough for Haymaker as well, which buffs up the damage. So I hit Peter for 6 there. Gets to reroll 2. So I hit you for 5. And I made you go dizzy.
right, so Daredevil. Okay, so this is where, my inexperience playing these characters, I messed up here. I should have, in my opinion, I should have done the attack baton hook, which you can do within 4, I believe. And if I rolled a wild, I could have pulled him off of that objective. I wasn't thinking about the fact that Criminal Syndicate healthy side is, worth 2 instead of, yeah. So it was really silly of me to move up there like that. I should have done baton hook. But I didn't. Lesson learned.
You would have had to roll wild still and hope for it.
I still would have had to roll wild, but I thought moving up there, I would have counteracted that, us both being there, so nobody would have got the point, but he still got the point, so.
So with that glare, you hit me for 3.
And you blocked 2.
So end of round 2, 9-6. Criminal Syndicate still has a lead. So Killmonger got his butt kicked last round, and I wanted a little bit of payback. So I was going after the instigator of all this menace to me, which I felt was Vision. So here's a nice look at the board, and I am going to start with Killmonger. I had big plans, and they start with a charge.
Vision is so pure, Andy. Why would you do this?
Because he's got a very shiny gem in his head that I need. So I move up just a smidge and do vibranium weapons attack. Now she keeps on jumping between phased and enhanced density, and that's super freaking frustrating.
Which he pays 2 power to do.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, it does force you to pay power. So this wasn't a bad hit. 3 damage, but she blocked it all. I pierced. So I did 1 damage all in all. Thank goodness for that pierce. That really is a solid ability. I love pierce. Then she realized she could reroll 1 still because of Web Warriors leadership, but it didn't do any good. So now, my coup de grace. I do my favorite kind of attack. Well, I'm switching to Black Ops Strike, first of all. I'm using Usurp the Throne, and I am also, this is focused on the kill, so 11 dice. And she freaking rolls 3 criticals right off the bat. Oh, I was so ticked off. So, why? Why?
It's a good thing we don't hear this live, right?
Oh, it's a really good thing, yeah. So, I hit her for 8. She blocked 5. Oh, so mean. So, I did have one more trick up my sleeve here. Cruelty. Cruelty is a Criminal Syndicate team tactic card. It's only a straight up 5 dice. And it requires you to roll well. I did not roll well. So Vision escaped, but he is staggered at least. That's something. Not what I wanted, but it's something.
Okay, Daredevil is going to strike Ultron. And at this point, Daredevil only has 1 stamina left, but I want to get an attack in before I run. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty good attack. You blocked 1.
So you hit me for 4.
So I'm going, and I was just saying to Andy, I wonder why I didn't just attack again. I think maybe that was a bad move on my part, but...
If you didn't succeed in knocking him out, he would have probably taken you out. That's the only thing I can think.
Yeah. I still think I should have, just attacked you again, though.
So I'm activating Kingpin, and I'm using extreme conditioning, because he's a very buff dude who exercises regularly. And he sprints all the way over there. And I've got my laser cane. I'm going to laser you in the back, both of them. So I'm attacking Vision and Daredevil because that's how I roll. I attack 2 people at once. Like a winner. So 1 stamina. Should be able to take out Daredevil pretty easily. Except it's Nikki. And...
It's Daredevil, not Nikki.
So she blocked all of it.
Is that how winners do it, Andy?
No. It's a cunning plan that's not into fruition yet. So she phased again. But it doesn't help this time. Look at all those skulls.
I kept looking at my card like, is he allowed to phase this much? But it doesn't say he's not, so at least not that I could tell.
I was not expecting to daze Vision there. I was going to daze Daredevil and maybe hurt Vision a little bit, but it went completely opposite to what I planned, so it went all according to plan.
Okay, sure. But Vision is gone, which you have wanted this whole game, so...
They're touching hands.
They're high-fiving here. They're like, we're having a moment. All right, so Ghost Spider, freestyle beatdown. And this attack costs 3. And if it deals damage, she can throw her opponent short. So there's 4, and you blocked 1.
Yep. There's no points soaking up that damage.
So I guess I didn't get to throw him.
No, he's dazed.
I like to throw, though.
I know you do. Oh my goodness, do you like to throw? So now my creepy bullseye is peering around the corner. I think he's leering. If he had a mustache, he would be like, take this, Ghost Spider. So I'm using Pincushion attack. It's 2 strength 5 attacks.
And that's 2. There's a glare, but that is 2.
Yeah, so I did no damage to her. But I am making her bleed, which is very important in this game. So it's basically a rapid fire attack, 2 strength 5 attacks. So not too great on the second roll. And of course, she blocked it all again. That's kind of what I expect from Bullseye. He just... So now I'm doing a hit and run. And actually, not too bad. 2 criticals is a good way to start. But she blocks 1 with 1 critical. But I up her with 2 more. So I do 3 damage to her in all. So pretty good. And now I'm contesting that, and because I'm Criminal Syndicate and still healthy, I have 1 that secure right now, assuming she doesn't knock him out, because he's only on 1 stamina. Foreshadowing, maybe?
Yes, foreshadowing. Nikki did not do a smart thing. All right, so... we have Miles Morales here. And I just used, web swing?
Yeah.
Which adds 2 dice when you use web line kick. And then I'm also playing all webbed up, which adds another 2. So this is going to be an 8 dice attack. Also, will make him slow. Yeah, which I don't know if that really matters. But if he did want to go anywhere, he would be slow. And this is, like I said, first time I've used these cards, and I don't have it right in front of me, but I believe that's, let's see.
That's a lot of dice. That's 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I told her I didn't even want to throw. So she dazed him. Don't have the token down, but he's dazed.
All right, and I pick up the hammer.
Hammer. All right, so... Oh, yeah, you have Peter Parker still.
Okay, so I was measuring before and didn't move him quite back where he was, but I would have gotten there. That was my first move. Move him up. I was going to attack Kingpin.
In the back.
He deserves it. Impact webbing.
Glare again.
Glare.
But you didn't. I blocked all of it. You didn't do any damage. But you've caught up.
Oh my goodness, have you caught up?
Almost.
All right. Round 4. Looking at our majestic laboratory. Again. Not a spaceport, as sometimes it is portrayed as.
I honestly thought that's what it was
Nope, it was lab.
this time. So it's lab. You need to explain this stuff to me.
I will do better. And I'm starting with Kingpin. So I had 1 power, and I used it to pick up that hammer. So now I have 2 power. And I'm going to use Cane Laser again, which does not generate power, which is a bummer. So starting with Vision, who shockingly is phased. Didn't see that coming. Not a bad hit. Pretty good hit, actually. 3. But again, this is the power of Nikki. So I do 1 point of damage to her.
You're just jealous you can't phase.
I really wish I could, yeah. It's a pretty sweet ability. Now Daredevil, who's sitting on 1 stamina still, round 4.
Pretty crazy.
It is kind of crazy, but it's Bullseye, same thing. So, did 1 point of damage, which is all it took. Thank gosh. So you just did Seeing Red. Team Tactic card.
Yes. And I used the attack Solar Energy Beam for that Seeing Red. And so if I rolled a wild, I could have pulled the power.
But she gave me a power, which is all I needed to grab that hammer that Daredevil dropped, because I didn't have any power left. So now I have 3 hammers on Kingpin, which it seems very appropriate, honestly, when it's all said and done. So now a super-powered Cane Laser is being shot into Vision.
That was pretty sweet, actually.
I just didn't roll very sweet.
Honestly, I wish I could have done another attack, but I couldn't move him. And didn't really do too much to him. But Daredevil's finally dazed.
Okay, so Vision versus Killmonger. Is that Synthezoid Avenger?
Yep.
Costs 4 power. So, if Andy rolls any crits in his defense, they do not count, and he does not get to reroll for crits.
I was toast.
Yeah, it didn't even matter.
You kind of vaporized him.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to move Vision over there by the serum.
All right, so now it's time for Bullseye. And this was one of those weird opportunities where he was the perfect person to go to. Ghost Spider had 1 stamina. And no matter what, as long as I have a power, I can do I Never Miss and take her last stamina out. So I didn't even really need this to work. It just so happened to, be very effective this time around. And I dazed her, which netted me that serum. Yay, Bullseye, impressive. You did what you were kind of supposed to do.
Yeah, that was poor planning on my part. I should have activated Ghost Spider earlier. All right, Peter Parker, taser webs on Crossbones. That's 2. I can't tell what that glare is. he's going to attack him again.
You did 2. I absorbed 1 using my.
Okay, so there's 1 on the first one. 1, and you blocked that one too. But now he's going to throw whatever that is. Pipes. I don't know.
Yeah, I used a Nerd of Pain a couple times. I need to make sure I mark that in the video. But yeah, I just used a Nerd of Pain to take down it by 1 damage. So now it's Ultron versus that Spider-Man, Miles Morales, using Metallic Fury. For this attack, I am also using Analyze and Annihilate. To very little success. My dice were not with me today. Either that or Miles was just never meant to go down. Because my dice definitely don't want him to be dazed or KO'd. So I end up doing 1 point there. So I do it again. I do another Metallic Fury. This time without Analyze and Annihilate. I don't have enough power for that. And 4. Down to 2 now. And she gets her spider senses. So down to 1. Man, he is just hard to take out. So, curse you, Miles Morales!
Alright, so Venom Blast on Ultron. It's 7 dice, and then he's got a hammer, so 8. If Ultron had been holding like a hammer or something after this attack, he would have had to drop it. So too bad you didn't have a hammer.
Yeah, someone took it from me already.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you blocked 1. Is that right?
Yep. I took 4. So you did it again.
So 4.
Yeah, you blew him up. Ultron goes bye-bye. So, Crossbones. I wanted Spider-Man off this objective. I needed him off this objective. And Overpower just so happens to be a really good ability to do that. Because if you roll wild, you throw them. Doesn't matter if that's short, you still throw them. Regardless, that was a good hit. And so far I'm doing 3 damage to Spider-Man. And I throw him for 4. But that's really not the important thing here. He's no longer on that objective, and I am. So that scores me 16 to 13. Super close game. I don't think I would have done well had this game continued. So I lucked out and was able to clinch it in that round.
So that was a really fun game for both of us because neither one of us have really played these people before. I've played the Criminal Syndicate in a practice game one time using a team very similar, but I'd never played Ultron before. And then you specifically... Oh, and I never played Crossbones before either. So I was playing 2 brand new and 3 semi-new. You were playing a completely brand new team here, and you damn near kicked my butt.
Oh, I don't know about that, but it was really fun. I don't know why I've never really had an interest in playing the Spider-Mans or Ghost Spider, because I know that they're played a lot. I've seen it online, and I know they're popular, and I know, they're supposed to be fun, but I just didn't have an interest, and I just decided, you know what, I'm going to try them out, and wow, they were super fun.
Yeah.
I can totally see why people get addicted to playing them.
Yeah, I mean, for clarity's sake, too, we are down now to 2 characters that we have not played. We own all the Marvel Crisis Protocol people. There's only been 2 now that we have not played after this game. And that's, one of our goals was to just make sure we try everybody out. But yeah, I wasn't impressed on paper with the Web Warriors. But seeing what they do when they're on the board, especially when they have the Web Warrior leadership ability, that was frustrating as all get out.
Yeah, that's a really good leadership ability. All allies can reroll 1 defense, and then you can also use skulls as a reroll as well. And
then spider senses on both Miles and Peter.
Yes, yeah, it's just really, they've got really good defense, and when you're looking at them, you're like, oh, they only have 5 stamina, but they're really solid. So especially, I really loved Miles. I liked playing him.
Yeah, and one thing I was thinking to myself at the beginning of this game, I've heard a lot of conversation before that Vision takes the same slot as Captain Marvel, especially for Marvel's based teams, but just overall for a 4-pointer. And he is very annoying to play. And I can definitely see how he can easily kind of tank a bunch of hits. But I wouldn't necessarily always put him above Captain Marvel. I mean, he is kind of all about ultimate defense. She is kind of about a lot of ultimate offense. Mm-hmm. So it's really what you're wanting out of that Avenger in this case. It was interesting to play against him. I was very happy you played him, and it was very, 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 very frustrating.
Yeah, I think he was really cool. I liked playing him. I liked Ghost Spider. I think, it just takes some time to get used to new characters, and so absolutely, if anyone has any constructive criticism for me, I am all ears. But I think it was really fun. I'm glad we did it, and I'm definitely use these characters again.
Oh yeah. Now I want to talk roughly about the elephant in the room because I feel bad about it. Round 2, I took a point of damage on Crossbones that you didn't give me. Now most people would say, well, no, you took the right end of the deal there, but it allowed me to play aggressive earlier. Now that really ultimately had no effect because you hurt me again the next attack, and I would have moved up them from there. But ultimately, when I was able to do my overpower with Haymaker, I don't know if I would have been able to do that had you not, or if I had not countered that 1 damage earlier. I'd have to check things out again, but I hate when I make mistakes like that, so I apologize first and foremost.
No, that's, I've done stuff like that before too, so I think when you're playing that's why we try to do practice games.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're just in the middle of things and stuff's going on and you don't realize something just happened, and no big deal.
I am infamous about miscounting the dice. I can't tell me how many times you've yelled at me like, hey, that's not right. I actually hit you for 2, not 1. So.
Well, I've made some big mistakes too. So, yeah, I don't think we even talked about it a couple of games ago. I played with an extra point.
Yeah.
So, we were saying we were going to do a rematch for that one. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. So
math is hard sometimes.
We're human. We make mistakes.
Yeah, but so I was very interested in playing Crossbones this game. I wanted to play Criminal Syndicate, But I was more interested in Crossbones. He was the very first person I painted for Marvel Crisis Protocol. I had just at the time seen Civil War again for like the 50th time, and then recently we saw Civil War again for like the 100th time. Obviously Crossbones is in that movie. A very cool with kind of a pneumatic punch Crossbones, and I wanted to play him. I always thought he was kind of an interesting character in the MCU, at least, somewhat in the actual comics. So he was he was the first person I picked to play, and then the rest of the team. Criminal Syndicate is a lot of fun, but the one thing I've seen in videos, and I think is very accurate to this game too, you've got to be fast with them, because if you can't clinch a game in the first 3 or 4 rounds, you are probably not going to survive round 5 and 6. And despite what Nikki says, I think I would have lost if that game had gone on the next round. If I had not scored that 16th point, I feel pretty confident she would have beat me at that point, because they are very much snatch up a bunch of points early in the game. They don't really have a whole lot of staying power, which is kind of weird. They should. And maybe, I'll be honest, maybe Bullseye was not the best person to pick, but I wanted to play him. I love him as a villain. He doesn't translate as well into this game. Not that he's not thematic, because he's very thematic, but in the comics, I see him as way more dangerous than I see him in this game. And again, but in the comics, he's generally going against somewhat superpowered people, definitely not Avengers level people. And it's generally like the Punisher, or more so Daredevil than anybody in Spider-Man. So I wanted to play him. I wasn't expecting much out of him. He ended up helping me score a critical point in the end of the game, which when I first read his rules, I thought that's probably one of the only good things he's good for. So yay there. If you had noticed him, you probably would have destroyed him. So like Daredevil, he was staying on that 1 stamina for most of that game. So I lucked out. I'm not going to lie. I completely lucked out with him. And I don't think I'll be able to get away with that again. The rest of the Criminal Syndicate was fun. Ultron was okay. I wasn't super enthralled with him. I do like the Criminal Syndicate, though, so I had a lot of fun playing them.
I definitely liked Web Warriors, and I'll be playing them again.
So we're actually... do you have any other thoughts on this game?
Nope.
So we're actually pretty excited about the next game. It's one that's just fun. And it was actually Nikki's suggestion, and I thought it's something I've been wanting to do since I saw the card. But we're going to do a Agents of Smash, basically, versus Guardians of the Galaxy. Nikki playing the Guardians, and I'll be playing the Agents of Smash, meaning I'll be playing She-Hulk and Hulk together. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do A-Force or Avengers. No, I think I ultimately decided it's probably going to be unaffiliated.
Yeah, you kind of wanted to play the Avengers players, but you didn't want Captain America in this particular game.
Not that I didn't want him, I just couldn't put him in there. But
Right.
we both have 2 big bands of misfits, and it's just exciting to think about. I'm super excited to play it. I hope it will translate well into an exciting video. So expect that next Agents of Smash / Avengers versus the Guardians of the Galaxy. And in this game, we will play the final characters we've never played before. So that's going to be fun. I'm pretty excited about that. And other than that, we appreciate all the viewers.
See you next time.